What's up, guys? Appreciate you for clicking on this video. I'm going to be talking about my backstory and my whole experience making money in college. How I went from e-commerce to agency to back to e-commerce to then appointment setting and then building my own agency and working with my clients now. But yeah, if you don't already know who I am, my name is Cage. I'm 23 years old, just graduated college around 2 months ago, 3 months ago now, and I'm consistently making around 10 to 20K a month, depending on how much I make my clients. And yeah, this video is just going to be kind of explaining my story, how I was making money in college, also a little bit of a background before going into college because you kind of need some context behind that as well. But yeah, just to get started with my, I guess let's dive into my childhood real quick. So this is a little bit of a touchy one for me. So my parents split up when I was around 5 years old, and I took that as just as well as any other 5-year-old would, and yeah, dealt with that for a while. But still love my parents. Have some of the best parents in the world. They support me throughout everything that I do in my entrepreneurial journey. But yeah, so ever since I was a young kid, in middle school, high school, I was trying to find ways to make money. I was trying to be entrepreneurial and come up with my own business models and ways that I can make money. And my first thing that I ever did to make money was I was around middle school. I think I was in like sixth grade, fifth or sixth. Yeah, I was in sixth grade. I just moved to a whole new neighborhood, going from fifth grade to sixth grade. So I had to basically restart, and there was a dewberry farm, or not really a farm, but like a patch. Like there was this patch of land, and there was a bunch of bushes and shrubbery over there, and dewberries would grow over there. So I would go out there, I would pick the dewberries, and then I would go and sell them to my neighbors. And that was like my first taste of business money, or entrepreneurial money, as you can call that. That didn't last very long. Obviously, like it's a very seasonal thing, so it only lasts for around a month or two for the year. I made like a quick, like $100 as a sixth grader, and when you're in sixth grade, $100 is like the world. I thought I was rich. But yeah, that was my first taste of online money, or not online money, but just entrepreneurial money. And then when I got into seventh and eighth grade, I started selling candy at school, just like every other kid that you see stories online about. That was me. I was what I would actually do is I would buy these like gummy worms, and then I'd also buy like these huge 5 gallon or like 1 gallon tubs of Kool-Aid. I would mix the gummy worms in there, mix them up, and then I'd sell the bags at school for like 10 gummy worms for like $1, $2. And then yeah, quickly realized that I wasn't profiting very much, but it was still it was fun, it was cool, and that was my second taste of entrepreneurial money. And then once I got into high school, I kind of fell out of that, and I got a real job. So when I was around 15, 16 years old, I started working at a cafe. I was a busboy, and that was my first real eye opener that I hated working and trading my time for money. I really disliked it because I realized that my time was finite, and I only was going to be on this earth for a limited amount of time, and I just hated the idea of trading my time for money. So I did that, stacked up a couple $1,000s when I was 16, got my car, did all that, just normal 16-year-old kid. I was really big into video games. Like I think I blew my first two checks on like building a new computer, and then I actually had to move again because my mom got remarried, and so I moved to a whole different new neighborhood in high school, like halfway through high school, and yeah, so did that, quit my job, bought a computer, got really big into gaming, playing Minecraft, Fortnite. I was a really big Overwatch player, and met some really cool friends. And I actually met this one guy through playing Minecraft with, who was like 2, 3 years younger than me. and he was running Instagram theme pages at the time. And he was like 13, 14 years old. This is at the time when Fortnite was really blowing up back in like 2017, 2018, something like around that time. And he started a Fortnite page and he grew it to like 200,000 followers. And so I was like, yo, like that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, I've made $3,000 so far, and all I'm doing is posting. And I was like, bro, like I want to do that. And so that's exactly what I did. I started my first Fortnite page. I grew that to like 19,000 followers, and then I got shadow banned. Never made any money off of it, and the engagement really started to decline. So I grew it really fast, and then it just completely tanked. And Fortnite was kind of like falling off at that time, like it was in a decline. So I was like, man, like I need to do something else. And then I looked at the kid again, or I was like, talking to him, and we were playing games, and he was like, yeah, dude, like the Fortnite stuff's really not making me much money, making me that much money anymore. So he transitioned to meme pages. And so I was like, all right, bro, like that is actually exactly like I love memes. I was like a real edgy kid back then. I was kind of cringy, but so that's what I started doing. I started this page called Eurodang, and I grew that to 100,000 followers in like 4 months, 3 or 4 months. And so I got really good at it. Just growing the page. Eventually got that page up to 250,000 followers right before I went to college. And then 2 weeks before I went to college, all my pages got deleted. Every page in my network got deleted. Like I was also working for a music label agency, running their accounts. They had like a 700K follower account called Autist that I was running. And then I also had like pages that me and my buddies who were also pretty big meme page owners, that we would all collectively come together and grow one single page, and then we'd offer like bundles for promotions and stuff. So did that for a while before the pages got deleted. Stacked up like $7,000-8,000 just from posting and running promotions and selling ads on my page. And yeah, my pages got completely wiped out, and I remember the exact feeling, dude. Like it was terrible. I was having dinner with my dad and my brother, eating sushi, and like a couple minutes right before our rolls came out, I had already seen like one of my buddies' pages get permanently deleted, and I was like, dude, like he's literally connected to my accounts because I was logged into one of the group accounts that he was also on. And I was like, dude, like I already feel it coming. My heart dropped. I knew it was coming. Pulled out my phone, tried to refresh, nothing happened, and then boom, your account has been permanently deleted. Tried to go on my personal account, boom, your account has been permanently deleted. I got completely device banned. All my Instagram accounts wiped up. Over 1 million followers just gone like that. And I'm like 17 years old, and my whole identity is essentially built on the fact that I have millions of followers on Instagram, right? I think that's how I was making my money. My income went to zero, and I was just torn. Like I was completely torn apart. I didn't know what I was gonna do for money. I had a couple grand saved up. I had like 6, 7K saved up at this time, and then I went to college, and I was still in this really dark period of my life because my whole identity had kind of been stripped apart. I went to college. I was always like a really quiet kid, so it was harder for me to make friends. But my roommate was actually like one of my childhood best friends. So he was really open, really social person, and he helped me like open up and whatnot. And he wanted to rush a frat. So I was like, bro, like I'll do that with you. That sounds like a lot of fun. Like, screw it, let's do it. Did that, went through the whole partying scene, blew my 7, 8 grand that I had in my account completely within like the first 5 months of getting to college. And I was just lost, bro. I was literally just partying, blowing my money, not doing anything good with my life. I literally got like a wake up call from my parents like 6 months in, or like one semester in, and they were like, hey, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're failing like 2 of your classes. Like, if you keep this up, like, we're gonna pull you out. And I'm like, dude, like, I need to get my crap together. Like, this is really bad. Like, I'm about to have to go home with nothing to show for it. And so I got my stuff together, still partying, still doing the whole thing. And I was majoring in, so I went to college majoring in computer engineering. And then I switched to business finance because I was like, that's way too much work. And I'm trying to party, I'm trying to hang out with my guys and just have a good time, make some memories. So that's what I did, switched to business. Things were a little bit easier. And yeah, did that for a while. Met another kid in my fraternity that had done e-commerce. And just a little bit of a backstory, after I had actually, when I was running those Instagram pages, I had tried, selling my own AirPod cases on my e-com store. I had tried selling like grill mats. I probably started like 5 different stores where I was spending like thousands of dollars on ads, but I never made anything work. Like I maybe made like $1,000 in total sales, but I'd probably spent like 2-3 grand on ads. So I was like negative 2K on that. But I'd learned some of the basics, right? Like I knew how to build my own store. I knew how to source products. I knew how to find suppliers. I kind of knew how to negotiate, but I wasn't very good at it. And then I met this kid, and he had done $250,000 selling tapestries, just doing Facebook ads. And he was profiting, like he had like a 3.5, 4x ROAS on his ads. And so I was like, dude, like, let me help you with this. Let me help you make more money. Let's record some new ads, because he was only running like 2 ads for like within the span of like a year, 2 years. He only had 2 ads, and he still made like $250,000. And I was like, bro, like, let me help you with this. I will, run your ads. I'll do your email marketing, because I was trying to start an agency at that time. I didn't really want to get back into e-com because it's just such a headache. But I did eventually get back into it later. But yeah, I was like, let me just start this, and he's gonna be a really good first testimonial. I'm gonna get him great results. He's not gonna pay me because he's my buddy. I'm not gonna ask him to pay me, but yeah, he's gonna get me good results, and I'm gonna be able to go out and get more clients like that. So we did that. Didn't really work. I mean, we probably made like an extra 30 to 50 grand within that like year, but not much profit to show for it. Like maybe like 7 grand in profit. And at that point, he wasn't really doing that much work, and I was kind of like the one doing all the work. And I was like, okay, let me just go out and do this myself. Let me try to start my own e-com brand again. Like I know a lot more on running ads, the back end when it comes to email marketing. He's pretty good at like negotiating with suppliers and stuff. So let me try to start this new store. And this is around the time when TikTok organic was just popping off. Like you post a video and it just blew up, right? This is probably, when is this? This is like 2021. So I'm like, probably like 20, about to turn 21. I start this new store selling these LED projector, like Galaxy projector. And I posted 3 videos a day for 3 weeks straight. Not a single video got over 300 views. And I was like, dude, like this just doesn't make any sense. Like I'm looking at another company who's selling a very similar thing and making videos very similar to me, and they're crushing it. But like for some reason, I can't crack this code. Like what's going on? And I'm scrolling on TikTok, and I come across this product that I'd seen before. I'd actually used it in person, and it was the Orbi blasters, the Orbi guns that were like really popping off, like literally right about to pop off. So I was like, this is what I need to sell. This is the product. I know this is going to work. Like I already have this store set up. Like the back end's already like perfect. Everything in Shopify was perfect. All my email marketing was perfect. I just need to rebrand this site and find an Orbi gun supplier from the US, because it's really hard to like keep your customers happy if you're shipping from China. So I was like, I knew I needed to get a US supplier, and that's what I did. So I spent the next day trying to find a US supplier, contacted like 200 different suppliers. One of them had stock in the US and was shipping from an Amazon warehouse. And so I paired up with them. I shipped the product overnight to myself on Amazon. And then I posted 2 videos before I went to bed. And I could already tell that like the traction was picking up right before I went to sleep. Like I was at maybe 70 to 90 followers, but I was like, dude, this is already more followers in one night than I've made in the 3 weeks posting the other products. I was like, I'm onto something here. Like, I know this is going to work. And so I woke up the next day and I was at like 70 or 80,000 views, like something like ridiculous. And I was like, dude, I need to pump out this site and get this site rebranded as soon as possible, because if I don't, I'm going to miss out on all this traffic, right? And so if you guys don't know, back in the day, I'm sure that this is like still how it is, but you have to reach 1,000 followers on TikTok to be able to put your link in your bio. And so I think I was at like 500 followers whenever I woke up. I was like, I need to pump this thing out before it gets to 1K so I can utilize all of this traffic. And that's what I did. I rebranded the whole site in like 2-3 hours. I just went crazy. And that first day I made like $300 in sales. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm rich. Like I'm so set. Like I made 2 videos and I've made like, and it was really good margins actually. Like I was buying the product for $35, $35, and flipping it for like 70 to 75. So it was like 2x, a little bit more than a 2x margin on my product. And I was not running ads. It was all TikTok organic. And so I did that. Next day, I hit 700 in sales. Day after that, I hit 1,200. First week in business, we ended up doing like 3.5K, 4K in sales. And I was like, dude, like I am rich. And that was like probably one of the best feelings in the whole world, because that was my first taste of like real scalable online money. Like with the Instagram theme pages, I have to manually go out and find people to buy my promotions and sell ads to. And it was just a lot of headache, a lot of sales. But with this, I can scale it without putting more time into it. Like, yeah, I still have to make the videos every day, but like, that's like fun to me. And I like doing that part of the business. I like the marketing aspect of it. And yeah, we ended up doing, I think like 20K in the first month. And then my highest month that I ever did was like 45K. And that was in May of 2021. Like right when I turned 21 years old. I turned 21 in April, and then I hit 45K in a month in May. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm dropping out of school. And that's what I did. So I dropped out of school. I went all on my own because my parents were like, we're not supporting you if you're not going to school. Like that's ridiculous. So I was like, I don't care. I'm rich. I'm going to do it. Little did I know, the Orby guns were a seasonal product as well, which I should have learned from running my Dewberry business back in 5th and 6th grade. But yeah, so I get to like August, September, and my sales completely drop. I also got my first TikTok account banned, so I had to make a new one because I got like a violent takedown for it or something, and rebuild all the way back to like 120K followers. And then I started getting more posts deleted, and I was basically on my last strike. And I was like so scared to post because I was like, dude, if I post, then my income goes back to zero, because some of the older videos were still hitting and they were still making me money. But yeah, I quickly realized that, I probably needed to go back to school. This isn't going to last forever. I thought it was at the time, just me being naive and young and dumb. And yeah, I did that, and we ended up scaling that whole store, or me, myself. I don't know why I keep saying we, but I ended up scaling it to over 6 figures. And yeah, that was probably one of the most exciting times in my entrepreneurial journey. Like that was definitely the most fun that I felt. Like I was just running on a high. That whole first 4 or 5 months running that business was just like mind blown. Like the floodgates had opened, everything clicked, the puzzle pieces had perfectly matched up together, and I was finally doing what I wanted to do. And then it all came crashing down. It went to zero. My supplier tried to continue raising the prices while other competitors were popping up and stealing my same exact product, stealing my images, stealing my store. I had to get some taken down, but at the end of the day, you can't stop them all. And my business went from 45K a month all the way back down to like 8 to 10K a month in sales, in gross sales. And so I was profiting maybe 1 to like 3,000 depending on my overhead and, increased product and supplier costs and just a lot of stress. So I had a really big reality check again when I was 21. And I was like, man, I got to go back to school. I had taken like a year to a year and a half gap year. I was like, I got to go back to school. Like, I'm not making any more money. And, if I keep going down this path, I'm not going to be able to support myself. So, stop doing that. Shut the store down. I still have like the TikTok page and the Instagram still up to this day. If you guys want to go check it out, it's called Splat Blaster. That was the brand. And yeah, from there, I started looking at other ways to make money online because e-com is such a roller coaster, and I wanted something more steady and more businessy. Because I felt like I was at this point really good at negotiations and talking to people and just building relationships and whatnot. And so I saw an ad for appointment setting from this 8-figure coach, Richard. And I just thought, I was like, dude, this dude's living the life, man. Like, he doesn't have to run ads. He doesn't have to show his face ever or make videos or make content. All he does is type on his phone or type on his computer, and he receives commissions for the people that close. And I was like, dude, this is my jam. Like, I like talking to people, but not so much face to face. I like more of the back end kind of stuff. And so that's what I went with. So I invested in this dude's program. It was $8,800. I got 12% off. It was 10 grand total, but $8,800 because I bought it the first day and went through his program in 2 weeks. And his guarantee was to get us in a job placement or an offer placement for info product business. And that's what I did. I went through the program the fastest that anyone had ever went through the program. I was so dialed. I was working on it like, I literally went through the course in like 4 days, and there was probably like 30, 40 hours of content in there. Just sped through it, went through it all, really grinding throughout this time. I was doing role plays with other people in the course, in the program, and yeah, he ended up pulling through on his word, got me on an offer, and that business was doing around $300K a month solely off webinars, and there wasn't any setters in the business. So I was like, dude, this is perfect. Like, I'm going to crush this. I'm going to get some crazy results. And that's what I did. Ended up doing 152.2K in my first 30 days. Pocketed like 8.4K in commissions selling a 3K product. And I mean, our close rates were insane. Like, we were closing like 70 to 80% of the people that showed up on the call. Like, it was insane. So made all the money back that I spent on the program within like the first 40 days of being placed. So I was like, man, like every time I invest into myself and invest into like a course or an education, and keep in mind, I had probably spent thousands of dollars on like e-commerce courses and agency courses and all kinds of stuff. Like, I was trying everything. I tried agency, e-com, never really got into the OnlyFans stuff because I thought that was haram. But yeah, then it finally felt like it clicked again. And this was in December of 2022, I want to say, is when I got placed. And yeah, that first month is when I pocketed the 8K in commission. And then, yeah, just kept stacking off that. Met my sales mentor. He was a sales manager in that operation. And he's taught me so much, man. Like, Ryan, if you're watching this, bro, like, you are a beast, bro. Like, I genuinely respect everything you do. But yeah, just a quick plug for Ryan right there. But yeah, so did that. And then I started reaching out to other people in the group that didn't get placed or didn't get that guarantee that they said was going to be in the program. And I was like, hey, man, like, we got another spot. Would you like to come in here? And I was also getting referrals from the business owner that I was working in because I was doing such a good job. They're like, hey, like, Cage is running IDM stuff. Like, have a chat with him and, we'll see what we can do. So I did that. Started placing other people in the businesses that I got referred to, making money through that, and then also making money through the commissions that they made the business owner. And then everything kind of came full circle. And that's when I started my appointment setting agency and placement. And yeah, it's kind of just been history from there. Worked as a setter for probably like 8 to 9 months. And then I switched full time into the agency side of things and placement. Got some really good results. And now we're here working with some of the top info product businesses and personal brands in the world, doing multiple six figures a month. And I'm making consistently around 10 to 20K a month. And yeah, that's essentially my journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster. And if you guys take anything from this one video, it's to stick with one thing and just go all in on that one thing. I think if I would have stuck with ecom even after the Splat Blaster brand had gone away and had fallen to the ground, I think if I found a new product or created a product and went all in on that, I think that I would probably be much further than I am today. But I was in such a dark place whenever that just completely crashed down. Like, I wasn't in college. I wasn't really doing anything with my time anymore. I was literally like depressed, just sitting in my bed all day watching like TikTok and Instagram reels. Like, I was distraught, right? So if you're in that place right now, like, don't worry, bro. Like, it's always, just power through it. It's greener on the other side, and you're going to get through it. Don't let it eat you up. You got to be strong. Can't be weak. And just power through it, bro. Push through it. Stick to one thing. Stay consistent. And yeah, that's really all I got. That's my story of my experience making money in college. And yeah, I hope you guys took some gems from this. But, if you didn't, that's fine. And, I'm here for it. But I appreciate you if you are still here and you've watched to the end of the video. That really just shows a lot about your character and what kind of person you are. And hopefully you can translate that into business and just stick with one thing and ride it out, because there's no such thing as a get rich quick. It doesn't really work like that. Even when, the e-commerce brand blew up, it might seem like a quick get rich quick, but it wasn't. That was years and years of building stores and failing stores. That was my 9th store that I started. And the 8 before that had all failed. So there's no such thing as get rich quick. It doesn't exist. Get that out of your mind. Just throw it. Doesn't exist. Only thing you can do is put a lot of input in it and hard work, resilience, consistency, and just really showing up when you don't feel like it. Like, that's really what it's all about. Like, some days you're going to be super motivated and it's going to be really easy to do a lot of work. But some days you're just going to want to lay in bed and rot, just sit on TikTok and watch YouTube videos. And that's really when you have to kick it into gear and be like, nah, I'm sticking to the process. I'm detaching myself from the outcome and focusing on my goals. And that's really what it's all about, is just sticking through, showing up when you don't want to, and just staying consistent. Even right now, I love to make these videos, but like, I could be doing a lot of other things with my time right now. But I'm sitting here talking to you guys, making this video because, I want to, and I know that it's going to provide an ROI in the future. And yeah, I just like to do it as well. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, appreciate you if you've watched all the way through. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.